Lewis Hamilton retirement. Mercedes star reveals dilemma over ending F1 career. Hamilton has lit up the world of motorsport since first taking to the track with McLaren in 2007. And at October's Mexican Grand Prix he claimed his fifth F1 title, putting him level with Argentine legend Juan Manuel Fangio. Is now just 2 World Drivers' Championships shy of matching Michael Schumacher's 7-trophy haul. And, given he is tied down at Mercedes until 2020, he could put himself on a par with Schumacher in a couple of years. Hamilton will be 35 by the time the 2020 season draws to a close, and rumors have swirled that he could retire then. The Brit has now admitted he could hang up his racing gloves when his current Mercedes deal ends. Although he has revealed the dilemma he is facing due to his love for driving at motorsport's elite level. "I've just signed for another 2 years and so I'm excited about the next couple of years," Hamilton said, at the FIA's awards ceremony on Friday. "But right now I'm happy that the racing's over. Next year's going to be so tough, the seasons are getting longer and longer. I don't know how long I'm going to go, currently 2 years sounds good for me. But I still love racing, so maybe I'll be going a lot longer." Hamilton was presented with his 5th World Drivers' Championship trophy at the FIA's gala. And he opened up on his emotions with regards to being the top man in F1 once again. "It does feel incredible," Hamilton said. Hamilton will start his F1 title defense at the next March. Next news. Wolff, Hamilton barely made a mistake in 2018. Toto Wolff says that recently crowned 5-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton, was almost terror-free in 2018, but the British driver is still looking for ways that he can improve. When questioned at Friday's FIA prize-giving gala, the Mercedes team boss said it was difficult to isolate which was the most impressive aspect of what is arguably one of Hamilton's best seasons in the sport. The prospect of Hamilton being able to equal Michael Schumacher with 7 world titles also arose, as if Mercedes managed to stay as competitive as it is currently, then there are 2 more years before the rules change again in 2021. "Overall, all of us that contribute to the team's success need to do better tomorrow than today," said Wolff. And he as a driver and as a human being has developed every single year we've been working with him. "We have barely seen mistakes this year. However, Hamilton is still looking for areas he can raise his game. We've discussed it on the plane yesterday," said Wolff. "He's one of very few drivers that is capable to say no, it was exactly that, but he said no, I wasn't good here, and we have another 2 years without a contract until the end of 2020. So there's potentially 2 more championships to go. It would be great if he can achieve that." "And I mean, we are in a good position. But the points go back to 0 at the start every single year. The challenge is going to be bigger than it was this year. So we're in good spirits that we can achieve it, but I can tell you that Ferrari and Red Bull and all the other guys are trying everything to stop us." Next news. Lewis Hamilton collects Champions Trophy and aims for more. Lewis Hamilton looked forward to more success with Mercedes after collecting his 5th Formula One World Champions Trophy at the governing FIA's Gala Awards on Friday. Britain's most successful racing driver, and only the 3rd man to win at least 5 titles, also won a media vote for Personality of the Year, denying Red Bull rival Max Verstappen a 4th in a row. "It does feel incredible," the 33-year-old told the audience gathered in the Grand Hall of the St. Petersburg Philharmonia, after FIA President Jean Todt had handed him his trophy. Asked whether matching Michael Schumacher's record 7 championships was his ultimate goal, Hamilton said he had never set that as a target. He made clear, however, that he would be around long enough to give it a try. "I've just signed for another 2 years. So I'm excited about the next couple of years," said the champion, who won 11 races out of 21 this year. "But right now I'm happy that the racing's over. Next year's going to be so tough, the seasons are getting longer and longer. I don't know how long I'm going to go, currently 2 years sounds good for me. But I still love racing, so maybe I'll be going a lot longer. Who knows?" Hamilton, who said also that his parents had wanted to be present but had a problem with the Russian visa process, had earlier been a no-show at an official news conference. Mercedes said he had not felt 100%. Ferrari's runner-up Sebastian Vettel and third-placed Finnish teammate Kimi Räikkönen were also on stage, the latter earlier seen brandishing a cigar and looking like he was enjoying the party. "Kimi has enjoyed tonight a lot," observed the show presenter. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff was presented with the Constructors' Trophy by mustachioed Formula One chief executive Chase Carey, the team's 5th in a row. Wolff and his team's non-executive chairman Niki Lauda were also recipients of the FIA President's Special Award, with the triple world champion absent as he recovers from a lung transplant. "He sends his regards, he is recovering very well," said Wolff. "Next time he's going to be here." Charles Leclerc, Vettel's teammate at Ferrari next year, was the Rookie of the Year for the second successive season after winning the Formula 2 title in 2017. The Action of the Year, voted by fans worldwide, went to Finnish rally driver Timo Suunnainen for a massive slide on his home event. Writing by Alan Baldwin in London, editing by Martin Herman. Next news: Renault puts figure on power deficit to Ferrari and Mercedes. Renault boss Cyril Abiteboul says there is no reason why his team should still be lagging behind Mercedes and Ferrari in terms of engine power next year. Renault has struggled to match the power output of its rivals since the start of turbo-hybrid era in 2014, and customer team Red Bull, which will switch to Honda power next year, often criticized the French manufacturer for its lack of power. Advertisement: Abiteboul believes the gap in performance between Renault's power unit and the class-leading Ferrari and Mercedes engines was over 50 bhp in qualifying this year and roughly 25 bhp in the race. But the Renault boss says there is no reason why Renault shouldn't close the gap over the winter break and hopes his team will start the 2019 season on an equal footing with the most powerful engines on the grid. "We're missing about 15 to 20 kilowatts of engine power, 20-27 bhp, in the race, which under certain conditions could be made up for by the Red Bull chassis. But in qualifying we estimate our deficit at 40 kilowatts, 53 bhp, and that's significant," Abiteboul told Auto Motor Run Sport. "With a customer engine from Mercedes or Ferrari we would have qualified in 7th place in Abu Dhabi. This shows that we have a better chassis than our competitors, in the midfield, but also shows we are not as good as the 3 top teams. That's why the main focus at first is on engine development. Next year, I don't want to have to say anymore that we lacked too much power in qualifying. There's no reason why we shouldn't close the gap to Mercedes and Ferrari with the engine over the winter." With the chassis it will take a little longer. The Renault factory team finished 4th in the Constructors' Championship this year, but was 297 points off Red Bull in 3rd place. Abiteboul is not expecting his team to start challenging the top 3 in the next 12 months but does expect to see the gap reduce in size. "It's hard for me today to set targets for next year," he added. In sport, that always depends a bit on the performance of the others. But if the curve points upwards like ours, you want this trend to continue. Maybe we won't be able to do that in terms of the World Championship position, but we want to reduce the gap to the top. Let's wait and see what happens with Red Bull and Honda. Red Bull never gets tired of telling how good Honda is compared to us. May I say that Toro Rosso is still behind us? Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.